your girl Michaela Deshawn. You guys already know I am back like I never left. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. We're gonna get straight into this video, y'all. Today is day 12, the day before my birthday, the day before I turned 25. And if you're watching, if you've been on this 13 days of Michaela Deshawn, thank you for watching. I love you guys so much. To my new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the family. We get lit over here. I make positive content that encourages, that uplifts, teaches you life application skills, where you guys are just able to come on my journey with me as I try my best to navigate through life. So welcome. So in lieu of me turning 25 tomorrow, I thought today was the perfect day to make a video that just tells you guys about 25 life lessons that I've learned over my 25 years of living, 25 years of walking this earth, of just learning new experiences, mistakes, wins. So we're gonna get straight into it. So I have my iPad here and I'm gonna be looking down a little bit because I wrote everything down. First lesson that I've learned over my 25 years of living is to be nice to everyone. You never know what anyone's going through. You don't know a person's background, and no one knows your background either, but you always want to be in the right. So it's good to always be kind and loving towards everyone, even if you're having a bad day. Number 2 is if you stop worrying about things that are out of your control, your life will be 10 times better. Oh my gosh, I wish that I had kind of learned this lesson a lot sooner, because when you worry, most times, I say 6 or 7 times out of 10, you're probably worried about something that you yourself can't even attribute to or contribute to or help or fix or change. So we're worrying, run our blood pressure up, losing hair, growing hair out of places you're not supposed to be growing hair, your body's acting weird because you're stressed out. But if you stop worrying about things that are out of your control, your life will be so much better. And the things you can control, you make a game plan and you change them. Life will be so much better. So I wish that I had learned that a little bit sooner. Boom. Number 3 is to cherish the people around you, to really love on them. Tell people that you love them, especially the ones that you really do love. And it's typically the people that you're closest to that you don't take a lot of pictures with. You don't have a lot of videos together because you're so in the moment with them. You're really living life. And so years go by, but man, I know the last time I told you I love you. I know the last time I got you a gift that just says I appreciate you. So I encourage you to cherish the people around you, cherish the people that you truly love, and the people that really uphold you and are pillars in your life. Boom. Number 4 is change behavior is the best apology. And I'm a big advocate of this. A lot of people say sorry. A lot of people say I apologize, but I've never been big on that. I'm an action-based person. So if you really meant what you said, there should be an action behind it. If I told you that this affected me this way, and I'm like, hey, well, going forward, can we try to do X, Y, and Z? And you say yes, and all I get is, okay, sorry, I'll try my best. And it gets worse or it never changes. I don't think you were truly remorseful or you're really taking me into consideration. So one of the lessons I've learned is change behavior is the best apology. And if a person's only hitting you with blah, 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 and they're not walking the walk, you got to move around. So boom, that's that. Number 5, I think this is, don't take out loans for furniture, y'all. Don't take out loans for furniture at all. So, and I say this because I moved into my first apartment, and you know, my first apartment, I had got it. Shout out to my godmom. She gave me a lot of the stuff that I needed. And then everything else I got from the thrift store. So that was a smart move, right? But then I moved again to the house that was literally falling apart. And I have a story time on that. I was like, you know, we need new furniture, da-da-da. So my dumb self, I went and took out a over $3,000 loan to get this janky furniture. And I'm not going to shout the name out or the company because I don't want to make them look bad. But the stuff fell apart less than a year later, and we took out all this money, and it looked good for the time being, but long term, it wasn't a good investment. So don't take out loans for furniture, and don't take out loans for anything that you can get for free or you can get really cheap. You know, sacrifice a name brand and be smart with your money. Be smarter with your money than I was at the time. So boom, there's that. The next one is to always think futuristic. And by that, I mean, Anytime you make decisions, sometimes it's difficult to gauge like if this is the right decision or not. This is right for me. Is this the wrong decision? So something that a way of thinking that I've adapted is, okay, if I make this decision, how is this not just going to affect me now or tomorrow, but how is this going to have an impact on me and the people that are attached to me 3+ years from now, 4+ years from now, 6+ years from now, you know what I mean? So thinking futuristically kind of helps guide me on my decision path, and I think it's a great lesson and something I wish I would have kind of adapted a little bit younger, like just thinking in the future, like, okay, I can make this decision and it may appease or solve the now problem, but realistically 3 years from now, next year, how is this purchase, how is this decision, how is this life change going to impact me, whether it's good or bad? So yeah, boom. The next one is, this one is about money. When it comes to bills, round up when you're budgeting, and when it comes to incoming money, round down. So by this I mean, I'm a great budgeter. I love looking at the budget all the time. I love looking at the numbers and like, okay, how much spending do we do? So when it comes to money, something that I do and something I've learned from my mom, she taught me this. When it comes to bills, you round up. So let's say if your rent is $13.72, I'm gonna round up to $1,400 for that bill amount, right? Same thing with gas. If my gas bill is 32, I'm gonna round up to 40, so forth and so on. So I'm rounding up on the bills, but on incoming money, I'm rounding down. So let's say if my check is let's say $1,367 for my incoming, and the amount that I'm calculating off of that I'm working with, I'm going to put $1,300, if that makes sense. And using that method has always kept me in the plus in my accounts and all of that. So that's always a method that I choose to use, just to cover your butt, because sometimes unexpected happens. It may be a fee that you didn't think about, a credit card fee, and so you have that kind of extra cushion just in case, and you're always working with the right amount of money, and actually more than enough, but in your head it's really less, if that makes sense. So when it comes to bills, round up. When it comes to money that you're working with that's coming in, whether it's your job, a side hustle, whatever, you round down. So boom, that's a huge one. Okay, the next one is, if you didn't write it, it doesn't matter and it didn't happen. And by this I mean, so many things, we have so many ideas and so many goals and so many things we want to accomplish, and we said, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And then a month later or a week later, we're like, oh man, I never did that. So if you didn't write it, it never happened. There's nothing to hold yourself accountable to. So write everything down in some form, whether if you're a digital person, put it in your phone, put it in an app on your phone that you visit frequently. If you're a paper and pen type of person like me, I like to write things down with paper and pen because I'm old fashioned. I'm starting to practice using my iPad more because I really do feel like it's a great tool and I want to learn to use all of its resources to my advantage. But write it down. If you didn't write it down, it didn't happen, and you have nothing to hold yourself accountable for. So yeah. The next one is, setting boundaries and saying no can be difficult, but it's necessary. Oh my Lord. This is one of those ones I learned around 21, 22. Setting boundaries, saying no, that was one of those things. It took me a good minute to even do it, and a good minute to realize the importance of it and how it benefits my life, and that it is necessary no matter who it is, whether it's a parent, whether it's a sibling, whether it's a coworker, whether it's a friend, whether it's a partner. It doesn't matter who it is. Setting boundaries is necessary, and saying no is necessary, especially to people who feel like they can just have access to you all the time and that all of these things are trying to pour on you and dump on you. Say no, set your boundaries so that you're not going insane for someone else's problem. So set your boundaries and say no often. Boom. So the next one is, let me see. You will grow out of people and people will grow out of you. This is one of those ones that, I learned kind of in high school, early college, but you're going to grow out of people and people are going to grow out of you. Now, that doesn't mean that there was some drastic event that happened to make you guys part ways or whatever. And sometimes that is the case, but a lot of times who you are when you're 13, 12, 15, 16 is not going to be who you, I hope not, I hope you grow and evolve, but it is not going to be the person you are at 20, at 21, at 30. And so people go on different paths. This person may took a different route and you took a different one. And sometimes your goals and who you are today doesn't always align. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that you're not friends. It doesn't mean that you hate each other. It just means that we kind of grew out of each other. I've grown out of you. Maybe I've elevated and I'm just on a different focus. I'm focusing. I'm doing what I got to do. Maybe you're kind of doing something I need to be doing, or vice versa. Maybe they're getting their life together and you're being a distraction to them. So that's okay. You grow out of people and people will grow out of you, but that's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you're shedding friends and you're going to be alone for the rest of your life. God will send you people that needs to be in your life to help build you up and that you can learn from. Boom. So the next one is, just because it's recommended doesn't mean it's right. And I think when I wrote this, I was thinking more so of like college and kind of like the traditional life path that's kind of reinforced to us in school and by our parents. And mind you, our parents, they don't know any better. They're just regurgitating what their parents taught them. But that doesn't mean it's always right. And so just because something is said to you that this is the way you should do and X, Y, and Z, it doesn't mean that it's right, and it doesn't mean that it's right for you. So you have to do your own research and your due diligence and making sure that you're really doing your research and that you're doing the right things for you. And life is going to happen. You're going to experience, you're going to try some things and maybe figure out this is not what I want to do. That's what happened with me. When my freshman year, I just knew I was going to get a biology degree and be a doctor and do all this. I quickly realized that biology is not my forte. And I fell in love with psychology, and that's okay. But just because college was not forced on me, but like, yeah, you should go to college. And that's not just by parents, but by schools, like college, university, but they don't really prepare you fully for the cost of college, for the mental, discipline that it takes to be successful in college. They don't really expose you to different trades that are very successful, that make a lot of money, to entrepreneurship, to business, to taxes, how to budget, how money works, how credit works. So that's what I mean. Just because something is maybe, yeah, you should do this, do your due diligence and do your research on it. Boom. So the next one is, hold up. Okay, here we go. Always pay ahead on rent / your biggest bill. This is one of those things I learned from my mom. And when I moved out, so I moved out into my first apartment at like 21, I believe it was 2019. So yeah, around 21 years old. And I had always I told you I've been like doing budgeting for a very long time, running numbers in my head for a very long time. So I had already kind of adapted that method of like paying ahead if I can. So any opportunity that you get to pay ahead on your rent, or your mortgage, which is usually your biggest bill, and the next one usually your car note, pay ahead on it. Pay an extra payment, extra couple of dollars. You're going to thank yourself later. And I also say, in conjunction with this, to paying ahead on your rent / your biggest bill, is to also set money aside if you can, as much as you can. I promise you're going to thank yourself. And also, if you get a large influx of money, so whether that's like your income check, or maybe your taxes, your refund for the year, or maybe you hit the lottery, God bless you, hallelujah. Or maybe you sold something that was like, big, and you got a big refund from it. Try to pay ahead on your biggest bill. Take care of your necessities that you need, but at least do one thing that's large, pay ahead on it, put extra something towards it. You're going to thank yourself later. Any event, God forbid, you fall on like hard times or unexpected life things happen. Your tires pop, like 2 of ours popped yesterday. Bless the Lord, everyone's okay. But unexpected things happen, or a doctor's bill comes out of nowhere, or you gotta hurry up and pay taxes on your car, or whatever the case may be. But always pay ahead if you can. And when you get extra money, put it towards something. Put it towards your biggest bill. That's something that I've been doing since I moved out. It's definitely helped me a whole lot. Boom. So the next one is saving money is not optional. It is not optional. And a lot of times we look at money, like saving money, like, oh, if I just have extra funds, I'll just put something in savings. But if you gotta hurry up and go because you gotta evacuate and you don't got no savings or no emergency fund. Now you out here looking stupid because you don't got no extra money. And you know, I hate to be frank or harsh, but that's the bottom line. And so when we look at saving money like it's optional, we're setting ourselves up for failure. And investing like it's optional, we're setting ourselves up for failure. But before you invest, I always think it's a great idea. And I'm not a financial advisor, so please do your due diligence and research what I'm saying. But before you get to investing, you want to make sure that your now is taken care of as well. So make sure you have an emergency fund. Make sure you have, you know, whatever the amount that you deem is necessary for you to survive any event that there's an emergency layoff. And, you know, at least a month, 2 months worth of something. So give you some time to hustle up, get you some money, have an emergency fund. So save your money, something. And if you're not responsible, if you're not the type to be like, oh, well, I'll just pull it out the ATM and deposit it here, or I'll pull out the ATM and, you know, put it under my bed. If you're not responsible like that, don't set yourself up for failure and make these make-believe wishes. Go to your job and say, you know what, I want this amount, every paycheck to go to this account. You won't even see that money. It's because it's gone before it hits your account. So it's a win-win. So now you're budgeting off of the amount that you need, that's normal to you, and you're going to forget about it. You have this money that's set aside, whether it's 20, 10, 5, 50, 100, 1,000, going towards this other account that's helping you in the long run, so that you have a savings account and that you have money you can pull from when life tries to happen and bring you down sometimes. So definitely save your money, and know that saving money is not optional. It is necessary. I look at it like a bill, and it is a non-negotiable. And I feel like I should do a segment on bills and what non-negotiables are to me, what are variables, and that's going to help you with your spending and with your budget. So let me know if you guys want to hear that or see that video. Boom. The next one is, you are not the answer to everybody's problems. You're not. You're not the answer to everybody's problems. You don't have the responsibility of trying to fix everyone's life. You are not, I gotta fix my life. And you're not God either. You're not a therapist. And if you are a therapist, you're not everyone's therapist around you. So I learned that over the years, especially the past 45 years. Actually, that's a lie. I started coming to that realization, but really, look, I'm setting boundaries and acting off that realization the past 2 to 3. I'm not the answer to everyone's problems, and you aren't either. And what I mean by that is, and what that kind of looks like in real life, is people calling you and dump on you, expecting you to solve all their issues, and they didn't even try. They're not even coming to you for a consult, like, look, this is what I'm thinking, you know, what's your advice on it? It's just, what should I do? Or they're just dumping on you and expecting you to change their lives and for you to act on it, and then they're looking at you crazy when you don't move on it, when that's not your issue, that's not your business. So you're not the answer to everyone's problems. This person right here, me, that I'm responsible for me. The person right here, you, pick your hand up, touch your chest, that's you. You're responsible for you. And if you have kids, of course, your kids, whatever the case may be. But most of all, you. This is who you worry about. These are the problems you need to be working through for you. So I learned that you're not the answer to everyone's problems. Their mess is not your mess. Their issues are not your issues. Unless it's brought up, you know, like, hey, I need some advice or whatever. But you are not God. You're not this grand doctor to go around fixing everybody's issues and your own home is falling apart. That ain't how it's supposed to be. So you're not the answer to everybody's problems. And I know that you're a caretaker probably. You probably love everybody. You care about people. You want to be a help. You're optimistic. You're just, oh man, or whatever I can do to help. Yeah, people abuse that. The people, they misuse and they abuse that. So you have to make sure to take care of yourself and that you're not getting burnt out. Because if you are, it's nobody's fault but yours because you allowed it. So boom, there's that. The next one is, if you ask God, he will show you and he'll respond, but make sure you prepare for the answer. So what I mean by that is, a lot of times, we pray and we ask God, God, show us a sign. God, is this right? God, should I be doing this? And he tells us, he does reveal to us, you know what I mean? For one, we have to know that he will respond if you ask him, because it's biblical. It says, call unto me, I will answer you. I'll show you great and mighty things. You know, so for one, ask God, seek him. He gonna show you, he gonna tell you what it is. But when he shows you, when he tells you what it is, to be prepared for his answer and be prepared for his advice that he's giving you, because you may not like it all the time. Sometimes it's, you know, great, okay, cool. And sometimes like, dang, God, for real, I really got to cut this person off. Dang, I really got to quit smoking. Dang, I really got to quit doing this? Man, but I really want to do it. So why'd you ask in the first place? So that's what I mean. Ask God when you're going through something. Talk to him. Seek him for consultation before you talk to any man. And when he responds and give you a response, be prepared for the answer. It may not always be what you like, and that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes his answer is uncomfortable. It's a hard no. It's a don't do that. And sometimes it's a yes. It's a it's time for you to move. Sometimes it's a okay, it's time for you to pursue your business now. Okay, it's time for you to go back to school. And sometimes what's uncomfortable to us doesn't feel good, but it's necessary. So call out to God. He's gonna respond, but be prepared for his answer. That's something that I've learned greatly over the past couple of years. Boom. The next one, this is a simple one. Clean as you go. Clean as you go. Pick up behind yourself. If you care about a clean space like I do, pick up your stuff behind you. Pick up your stuff behind you. When you use a dish, make sure you wash it. You can wash it as you go. Use a dish, wash a dish, whatever works for you. But make sure you are in that moment keeping your space clean, especially if you have a busy lifestyle, especially if you have children, if you have businesses, you're in school, you got a lot of things going on. It's best if you clean as you go, because if you don't, the time that you have to rest won't be a time to rest. It'll be a time that you're picking up behind yourself and going back and trying to get your life in order. And then you're constantly in a state of like, always running, trying to catch up. And we don't want that in 2023. So something I've learned that's really helped me personally is to clean as I go. So it looks like I'm always cleaning my house. I'm always wiping stuff down, folding stuff up. I'm dusting, because when I see it, I do it, and it helps me. So then the days like, okay, Saturday, that's my day. That's my day to rest. Don't call me. I'm not going to answer. Well, I might answer, but like, that's my day. I'm with my husband. I'm with myself, with my dog. We chilling, but that's my day. And I don't want to spend my day cleaning my house, deep clean, because I love a clean area. I cannot do clutter for me. But yeah, clean as you go. It's really going to help you keep your house clean, because you never know who's going to visit. You never know who's going to stop by and see you. So you want to be prepared. Boom. So that's that one. That's Siri. Siri, listen to my conversation, y'all. Anywho, the next one is to read. Knowledge is power. So I know that like reading can be one of those things where it's like, it's so boring. I hate reading. I don't like it. But reading can be so beneficial to you. And I'm actually reading 2 new books. And I'm going to try to put a picture in right now to show what I'm reading. But I love to read. But reading is very, very beneficial to you. Knowledge is power. What's up here, can't nobody take that from you. And you can use it to your advantage. You can learn new skills. You can learn new ideas. You can learn a new method of doing things. So the more you read, the more you know. The more you educate yourself, the more you know. So even if you don't like to read a physical book, get an audio copy. Get an audio book, put it in the background of your car, because even you may not be actively listening to it, you listen to it in your subconscious. And I promise you, you remember some of those things that happen in your subconscious state. So make sure that you're reading, because knowledge is power. Boom. The next one is, and we're almost done, it is learn as many free skills as possible and network. Oh my goodness, this is a huge one. So a lot of times we feel like, oh my gosh, well, I don't know, so I can't. That's the wrong answer, and it's a sorry answer. You can, you will. Look it up, Google it. Google is your best friend. Use Siri, use Chrome, use Microsoft Edge, and search it up. Use as many free skills as possible. YouTube is a great resource for you. You can learn essentially anything on YouTube. You can learn how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on YouTube. You can learn how to fix a car on YouTube. Use your free resources. Khan Academy, YouTube, other free, course sites and everything. Use it to your advantage so that you can make yourself better, so that you can be the best you that you can be. If you want to start a YouTube channel, you don't know how? YouTube it. YouTube it and figure it out. You know how to edit? YouTube it. Google it. Read an article. Read a book. Ask someone to teach you. Take advantage of the free resources available to you, especially at your job. A lot of times your jobs offer so many free little programs and, a free course here or there, but you can add those things to your resume. You can make that beneficial to you and actually incorporate it into your everyday life. So make sure you're using your free skills, taking advantage of those things, and don't just let it fall to the wayside. Boom. Next is, don't be afraid to ask questions. This is the big one. Ask your questions, because you're responsible for what you do know and for what you don't know. Ask questions. For so many years, I thought people would look at me like I'm dumb if I ask questions, or like I'm slow, or like I don't understand. But then I quickly realized it's not about y'all. I got to pass this test, so I'm going to ask these questions. And if the teacher got to go back 5 slides and kind of start over, that's okay. That's fine. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make sure I learn. So I'm asking questions. Hey, what did you mean by this? Clarifying questions is a big one. Okay, when you said this, did you mean this or did you mean that? And if you didn't mean either, can you please clarify and reiterate what you meant? So like being direct, ask your questions, because you really are responsible for what you do and what you don't know. And that's in every instance. In school, the teacher can't help you if you don't ask questions. If you fail that test, baby, that's on you, because you didn't get the help you needed. Boom. If you fail at work or you're not performing as high as you should be performing, that's on you, because you didn't speak up when your boss asked you, do you have everything under control? Do you need help? And you said, no, I got it, because you was too scared to ask for questions, to ask questions, to ask for help. Wrong answer. We're not doing that in 2023. We are outsourcing. We are asking people questions. Hey, can you show me how you did that? Okay, why did you do this instead of that? You got to know what you're doing, know what you're talking about, because you really are responsible for what you do know and for what you don't. So remember that. Ask your questions. No question is a dumb question. Boom. The next one is, everyone is not your friend, and that's okay. Love them from a distance. Boom. Everybody's not your friend. You know, especially if you're, a good-hearted person and a pure-hearted person. You know, sometimes when we realize that people aren't truly our friends and have our best interests at heart, it devastates us when we find that out. But like, that's okay. Everyone is not meant to be my friend. Everyone is not meant to be my foundation. Everyone is not meant to be the people I consult with, the people I confide in, and that is okay. And those people that may not be for you, love them from a distance. Hey, how you doing? Keep it short. You don't got to tell all your business to them, because you already know how they are. So that's okay. Everyone's not your friend, and it is okay. And when you realize everyone's not your friend, stop treating them like they your best buddy, and then be hurt when they do something that shows you that they're not your friend. Use your head. Boom. So the next one is, always be in the right. Always be on the side of right. Being in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. So this one is, I don't know if I got this from my dad, the always be on the side of right, or my mom. One of those. I got them from my parents. So you always want to make sure that you're in the right at all times. And I went to Heritage High School, and that's what our principal say: be in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. And that still plays in my head all the time to this day. But always want to be in the right, in a sense of, it's going to be difficult to people sometimes. It can be difficult to deal with the mess of people, and grown people at that. And you know it's mess. And you're dealing with friends and their mess. You're dealing with family members and their mess. And you see it, and you want to cuss them out so badly. Some of us want to cuss them out. You want to punch them in their face so badly. Some of us want to punch them. You want to run them over with your car. I don't recommend that. But some of us, that's how you really feel. Man, I just want to, ooh. And you just want to lay them out and expose them and blast them on social media. But that's not the right thing. So then when you do that, now people looking at you like you crazy. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that. You're so this. Oh, I thought you was this. Now you're out here looking crazy. But there is a way and there is an order to do things. I'm telling you. And whatever you do, you always want to make sure that you are in the right standing with everyone around you. And what I mean by that is, no, you don't want to give no one the opportunity to say something negative. You don't want to give no one the opportunity to say that, well, you did this, so I did that. No, baby. So there's a way in which you address things. You can still speak up. You can still be direct. You can still get your point across without acting out of character, without doing something that is against your rule book, without doing something that's against your own moral code, because you want to make sure that you're always in the right. And when you answer to yourself, when you answer to God, you can say, you know what, God, it's a plane. I think it's a jet. I don't know. But you always want to be in the right, because when it comes to it, you can answer to yourself, answer to God, and be like, you know what, God, I did the best I could. I handled that, whatever the case may be. So, boom, always be on the side of right. An example of that is, let's say you're dealing with a messy coworker or whatever the case may be, and they're driving you nuts. You know, they're spreading lies about you. You want to check them. You want to, I'm about to, whatever. You know that's wrong. It's going to get you fired. So you don't operate like that. You know what you do? You make a definitive statement. Says, hey, I don't appreciate what you're saying about me. That's not true. I'd appreciate it if you stop spreading those lies about me, etc., etc. In a very calm voice, you write that down. You document that instance right then and there. Now, if they continue, you now have a case now, because you said something. You've officially said your official statement in a calm way. You weren't disrespectful, whatever the case may be. Now you have a case. You document every time there's an instance. And then what do? you take that case up to run it up the chain of command to your boss, to HR, and then you let it play out. And you always remain in the right. You always remain respectful. You always remain with integrity. So that's what I mean. Always be on the side of right, no matter what it is. No matter what it is. I'm telling you. Boom. The next one is, your past is not your future. Especially when it comes to your past mistakes and maybe even things that are generational in your family. You know, my great granddaddy was an alcoholic, and my great grandmama was a cheater, and this person was a drug dealer, and this person was a liar, this person was this, so it's okay if I do this. No, wrong answer. Don't get comfortable in that. Don't use that as an excuse, as a badge of honor over your family's past boo-boos and your past boo-boos. It's a sorry answer and a sorry excuse for you to excel, for you to be better. So, boom, that's what I mean by your past mistakes. They don't define you. They are not your future. And your family's past mistakes, because a lot of times, like, when things are generational and they run through the family year after year after year, well, I'm gonna just be just like my dad, I'm gonna be just like my uncle, I'm gonna be just like my great grandma, I'm gonna be just like my aunt, whatever the case may be. It almost puts us in a place of complacency or stagnancy where we feel like, I'm gonna be just like that man. And then when regular baseline life happens, we attribute baseline life happenings to those things. And so then it grows bigger than what it really is. To us. Does that make sense? I hope you follow. Let me know if you're following what I'm saying. But that's what I mean. Your past and those things that's old, that does not dictate your future. You dictate your future. You do. And what's for you is for you. What God has for you, God has for you. So that's what I meant by that. Boom. Mistakes in life, we only have 2 more after this. Mistakes and life experiences are inevitable. It's all about how you respond. And I say that because, boy, I learned that mistakes happen, boo-boos happen, life experiences and journeys that may not go according to what you planned. It happens, but when it happens, grow from it, learn from it. Do not repeat the same mistake twice. It's all about how you respond. Some stuff, it just happens. You didn't know it was going to happen. It hit you like a ton of bricks. It blindsided you. But when it happens, how you respond is key to how the rest of your life is going to play out. So, boo-boos happen, mistakes, life experiences, these life things that occur, relationships and growing and evolving, learning. It's inevitable and it's going to happen. How you respond, that's where the power is. That's where the key is to life. Boom. The next one is you cannot fail unless you just don't try. And if you don't try, you cheated yourself. So I learned this. This is definitely one of those lessons that since a kid, I always struggled with feeling like a failure and feeling like I'm not good enough, feeling like I don't have like any purpose here in this world, but like that's okay. And growing up, I was like, you know what? I'm really not a failure. In therapy, we're like, what's the definition of failure? What does that really mean? Are you really a failure? Etc., etc. So you're not a failure. You're not. You're not a failure just because things didn't play out according to how you thought it was going to play out, or maybe you didn't succeed as much as you thought you were going to succeed, or maybe your outcome wasn't what you expected. You are a winner. You're always a winner. The only time that you can fail is if you don't try. And you not only failed if you didn't try, you cheated yourself too. So make sure you try. Just try it because you might like it. And that's from Yo Gabba Gabba. I think try it. You'll like it. I don't know. Anyway, the last one is Psalms 23. Boom. And I'm going to pull it up for y'all. And it is to know the word and hide it in your heart. That's the last lesson of my life that I wanted to share with you guys. 25 life lessons is to know the word, hide it in your heart. Because when you know the word and you really have it in here, it comes alive to you when you need it. So you can pull on something when it seems like you in an ocean between the devil and the deep blue sea, stuck between a rock and a hard place. You can pull on that word from inside and it comes alive to you. So I want to leave you with this. This is my favorite. When I say favorite, I mean my favorite scripture. Since a child, I had to learn this and memorize it for me, y'all. Crazy life, crazy story. But yeah, and it says, It's a Psalms 23, and I'm gonna read out of a version that's easily understood. So let's do ESV. Yeah, let's do Psalms 23 out of the ESV version. And this is, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. This scripture right here, y'all, is one of those scriptures that I had to learn as a kid. And it's always like, when I get a tattoo, because I do want to get tatted, y'all. That would be one of those that I definitely get on me, because when you know the word, hide it in your heart, there are so many times where I have pulled on this scripture. For example, I'll give you an example on how I've pulled on it and how it came alive to me. It says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. So to me, that meant even though what I'm going through feels like I want to die, even though I'm walking through a place and I feel like I can't even see the other side of the tunnel, even though I feel like I'm in a position where I'm stuck and I'm really feel like I'm darn near fearing for my life, or like the weight and the pressure of the world is on my shoulders, I will fear no evil. I ain't scared, no punk sissy. I'm not gonna be scared. I don't have to fear. Why? Because you are with me. God is with me always. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. So that means you're gonna protect me, you're gonna guide me, and you're gonna offer me comfort in my state of weakness, in my state of depression, in my state of sadness. And y'all, that's just one example on how I've pulled on this scripture so many times in my life. So know the word, hide it in your heart, and when you really, really need it, it's gonna come alive to you. So I love y'all so much. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. I feel like it's kind of long, so I apologize. But I hope that you guys have been enjoying 13 days of Michaela Deshawn. Tomorrow is the big day. It is day 13. And so I appreciate you guys for coming on this journey with me. Make sure you subscribe. Tune in every week. Leave me a thumbs up. Turn your post notifications on. And definitely comment down below if you're new and just introduce yourself. And I will definitely respond to you, because over here, we're a family. You don't want to miss this. So I love y'all. We are over and out. Bye, y'all.